Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I'm calling to see if I could find out any information about a notice or a warning that was given to some Maui residents down at Kahului Harbor regarding their car and their personal belongings. They're struggling with safe sleeping spaces, and I was wondering if you could give me any information.
And who am I speaking to?
This is Faith.
Oh, was that Faith?
Yes, Faith.
Hi, Faith.
Hi, what's your name?
My name is Paul.
Paul.
I'm the district manager, and Kahului does fall under my jurisdiction. So,
Okay.
Why are you concerned about these people there in Kahului?
Yes, I'm concerned.
Why are you concerned? Is it because they're there, or are you worried about them, where they're going to go, or what is your concern?
I am concerned for their safety and their well-being. I am a legal rights advocate. I try to educate all the different factions of our government and our safety officers in this time of limbo where we don't have a designated safe sleeping space. You might have been aware that we had the safe sleeping parking lot come through the council, and then things kind of went awry and it fizzled, and now it's going to be reintroduced in this council year, this budget. But, in the meantime, we don't have any, our shelter beds are over capacity. We don't have a safe sleeping parking lot. So when times like this happen, I'm the one who calls the community policing department or the lieutenants on call, DLNR. I'm the one I'm trying to make sure that, nobody gets injured or hurt or displaced in this time of limbo, because we don't have a place to go. There's no open shelter, community center. So I just wanted to know the reasoning, the intention, any plans, because there needs to be a plan for them if they are asked to be moved for whatever reason. Maybe if the grounds were of concern. I'm not sure what, I just trying to find more information.
Well, it was brought to my attention, and I was in contact with, at that time, who was with the homeless division for the county council, Mr. Nakama. And since then, it's been passed over to, his name is Christopher, and I talked with him probably about maybe a week or more ago with regards to the literature that is handed out to homeless people with regards to the services that are available for them to go and take a look at or contact with regards to place to stay or food or, Catholic Charities, a bunch of organizations that are listed. So our due diligence is to give them that paperwork, and at the same time that we're handing them the paperwork as far as where to go, who to speak to, at the same time that we would be giving them a notice to vacate the property, and letting them know that, they have a certain date in which to remove their items, or the items will be removed for them from the property. So when you say that you represent the county, tell me, does the county have jurisdiction over state property also?
I did. If you heard that, that's not what I do not represent the county. I participate in the county proceedings in trying to find solutions for our vulnerable residents that are suffering with houselessness, safe sleeping spaces, and sleeping in their cars. But I understand
have you found solutions?
Pardon?
Have you found solutions?
Every time I feel like we've gotten close, and every time we get pretty close, it gets hijacked or the rug yanked out from under us. So I have some strong opinions, and I have some personal multi-prong approaches that I'm looking forward to in the unfolding of the rest of the year. But in the meantime, I just need to try to keep people safe. I mean, I understand this family, particularly today, there's 4 generations. So it's elders and children. And so that always gives me an extra alarm, certainly, because of the capability and the vulnerability of those kinds of residents. So if we can go back to, if you don't mind, why would is there a concern of them being there right now? What is the main concern? Is it you need access, or is there extensive opala, or what is
public health safety? It could be many issues. Yeah, public health and safety is one of them. Drug use. Second, the health and welfare of those people that are there, and of course, possibility of danger to community members that might be there, enjoying or recreating down in an open facility like Kahului Harbor, or fishing off the pier. So it looks like your solutions, or trying to find solutions to help these people out, isn't working, or they choose not to go to those places. They choose not to go and seek help or find help because they're still out and about the places that they really don't belong.
Okay, well, maybe just to bite my tongue in personal opinion and keep it straight on facts, was there a complaint that triggered action by your harbor department?
The complaint it wasn't a complaint, it was just a call that was suggesting that our enforcement division was going to go ahead and see about issuing a notice to vacate, and now all those things would fall under my jurisdiction, since that property falls under my jurisdiction. And it was also encouraged by our enforcement officers, and also brought up in a meeting that we had with our DLNR district manager meetings, which actually occurred last week, that included the Department of Land Division and also the Department of Transportation.
Okay, so it was a general observation, but not a direct complaint, like to a specific person per se.
I didn't have a specific person from the community come and complain, but there was a concern that was expressed to me through our own agency.
Okay, so I understand the paperwork that is given. I'm very familiar with that information card. And truth be told, there's not enough shelter beds or open rooms for the number of people that are struggling with, unsafe conditions, housing conditions, or safe sleeping spaces. So the premise that the safe parking lot was voted upon, regardless of the political timeline and how it may have dissolved, is that fact that it was voted on is actually an act of admission by our county in general that there is a problem, that we have there's a need to be filled. So as that safe parking lot is resurrected, reintroduced, revisited, and hashed out, it again becomes that piece that is that admission of all of us in a county. It's kind of like it's nobody's fault and everybody's problem. So I would beg you to have time, let these family members that are, finding safe sleeping spaces down there to reestablish themselves, be solidified, like confirmed that they have a place to go before anything is done. I would beg, plead, because I would, I have a couple other people that I would certainly try to ask to, flex in this position, in this space, but it becomes urgent when they start making distress calls, like, we don't have a place to go, they're taking our stuff, this kind of thing. So that's where I'm at that intersection right now, which is, it feels dangerously close. So I'm not sure if you're at liberty to speak on if you have some, if you're the boss man or you have somebody above you, but that is my plea to you. And I'd be happy to send an email, just stating the facts, like sort of the GPS of our county, the status of where we're at, because we're really nowhere in being able to serve this population. And I do hear you when you say, oh, maybe they don't want to take advantage of the services. That tends to be a real sort of lean on commentary or reply or response I get from a lot of people, and that's just not true. No, I think sometimes people that may happen once with somebody that might, for example, have some serious mental issues, and they say, no, I don't want to be in a shelter, or, take advantage of offerings. And so then it's just like sort of ripple effect, like it's just a story that gets repeated, but it's really not true. The consensus is nobody wants to be houseless. Nobody enjoys that. They would like to have services. We just don't have enough hand ups for this population. So it sounds like this was supposed to occur tomorrow. Am I correct? They were given notice.
I haven't posted any notices or notice to vacate the premises.
Okay, so they're just probably.
I don't know what you're talking about. We haven't continued our communication on how we're going to do this.
Okay, well, that's good to hear, because maybe they're just nervous and jumpy, or maybe it's hearsay. One person might have suggested it or hinted to it, and then it's just explosive at this point. But you can understand their nervousness. Yeah. Do you understand that what their frustration they might be feeling? Like, what do they do? Where do they go? Paul?
Yeah, I'm thinking about that.
Okay.
I've never been in that situation where I've had to think about that.
Mm-hmm.
Most of us depend on ourselves in order to be responsible for the things that we do. I guess maybe I'm fortunate that hard times haven't fallen on me, and that it still can occur. But I do everything that I'm capable of doing in order to make sure that that I'm not dealt those kinds of cards. That I do everything that I can to protect my family, to help loved ones. And you do that through communication. And that's also a problem with a lot of times in going out there, to whatever it might be, try to help, to drop off papers, to let somebody know what's going on. We're obligated to do that, not just to come in and say, sorry, time to leave, take what you can, whatever you can't take with you is going to get thrown in the dumpster all the way. That's not how we do things. We try and provide a fair opportunity for everybody to know that this is what's going to happen. And our obligation is to those people that also pay the taxes for these different properties that exist in the state. And each agency has done it in different ways in which to remove that problem of homelessness. Kanawha was a good example.
Yeah, these are, just to be clear, these are definitely families that have overflown from that same gathering of people who didn't have a place to go. There definitely is genealogy there as far as houselessness goes. And I thank you for sharing that you that you do, have this state of fortitude. You are fortunate in that space, and I think that, well, what I've learned since the top of COVID is that it being priced out of paradise is very real for the indigenous peoples, the Kanaka Maoli, and so 98% of those that need assistance or, hand up are definitely, people of the place. And so that hits home for me hard, being an island girl. But I do want to...
Is it 98%?
98%, yeah.
That are, originate from here, from Maui, or is the percentage more with people coming from the mainland?
Oh, that percentage is really small. That's a conversation for another day. But I understand that seems to be everybody's kind of like, people want to talk about that. But it's actually quite small, the percentage. What's really interesting is I found a lot of beneficiaries, DHHO beneficiaries and waitlisters. And so that's sort of the area that I'm working in. I'm trying to bridge that crevice so that we can, instead of just trying to get people on their INA with mortgages, we actually are in this emergency space where we need temporary housing for waitlisters. One day they will have their INA and beneficiaries, homesteaders. They can't get it to their INA. They can't afford a house, but they have it or they're in line for it. And so, but that's another conversation for another day. But specifically for now, do you mind if I send you a clarifying email just so that I can restate some highlights of this conversation? Just so that, because I feel like you're right. It is all about communication. But when you're broken and poor and have had hardships that are just unsurmountable, it is difficult to communicate, and sometimes it's emotional. So it's you try to find your voice and then you just get caught in emotion. So I think that's what I sort of, unbeknownst to me, have become, is a bit of a translator or a communicator. So I would like to just try to clarify those things so that, maybe that email, when it's drafted, it hits all these points that we've talked about, which are sensitive. And then everybody involved can have a little bit of sensibility about making decisions moving forward. Because, I see a bright future, actually. I see this actually being resolved. I do. So it's only the problem of today. And so how do we best navigate, how do we all be on the same team, in that trajectory of ending homelessness is my goal. So I would love to send you an email if you might, and I leave you with your decisions that you need to make. And I appreciate your time and your input. And I'm just, if I get anything out of this more than having been heard about my personal concern, that's just bonus, because I do feel heard and I appreciate your time.
Well, you can send me an email. I can send you an email with other names of district managers that are involved in this meeting and this movement to, bring safety and health to everyone that's there in Kahului.
That would be great. I'd appreciate that.
You want to give me your email address, and I'll send you mine with the names and of other people that are included in the list.
Thank you. My email is pretty easy. It's Maui Faith, FAITH @gmail.
Maui what?
Maui Faith, my first name, FAITH.
SAI.
Like faith, hope, and charity. Faith. Yeah, Maui Faith.
Maui Faith.
Yes.
Not safe. Okay. Maui Faith
@gmail. I don't know. Maui Safe @gmail sounds like a good one. I might need to go get that. Okay, well, I really appreciate your time. My father's name is Paul. My son's name is Pablo, after my father, Paul. And I wish you a great afternoon. And thank you. And I believe that we can find solutions that we can all feel good about at the end of the day, end of the week, end of the month, end of the year, forever. So thank you so much for listening. I appreciate it.
All right. You have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.